Watch Nighttiger Comics!
Watch
Tiger Comics.
Tiger Comics! Nighttiger Comics! Tiger Comics! What?
So kind of a cool little story. My brother just retired from the Air Force, moved to Florida from Louisiana. Been there for a little bit. We're not exactly really close, but he called me up the other day and he said, "You want to go to Gainesville?" And I'm like, "Sure." So he just bought a new sports car. He picked me up. He goes, "You want to go to the comic shop?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah, but I'm broke." He goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll buy you some comic books." And I'm like, "Whoa, that's cool." So we rode to the secret store, which is about 40 minutes away, which was a fun ride. He was really getting on it, having fun with his new sports car. And I think he just wanted, there was another place down there. He's married to a Filipino lady, and there's a Kung Fu tea place he likes, and he knew that was there. But he was, well, he's being a nice brother. So I thought that was really cool. And you know, you think, wow, that's really cool. But then I walked into the secret store, and the LCS owner, now I've met him twice, but he knows I've been there other times when his other employees are working. And he knows I've spent well over $500 there in the last couple months. So he shows this to me, and you can see it says Classic Monsters, a pre-code horror comics, Ghosts. And he says, I thought about you and I thought you would enjoy this book. And he hands it to me for free. And I'm like, wow, this day get any better? Check this book out. It's got some really classic pre-horror stuff in it. Let me get to some of the covers. Check that out. So yeah, wow, I was so happy to get this thing for free. So most of these books, I'm not sure, maybe all of them are from the secret store. So let's kick it off right now. We got Lois Lane, or Superman's Girlfriend, number 62. Just a Silver Age issue for $2.50. I'm really enjoying these titles. Jimmy Olsen, and Lois Lane. The reason I enjoy them because they are part of the Superman mythos. So a lot happens in here with Superman and the villains, Bizarro World and stuff like that. So, and a lot of these are overlooked from collectors. That they're just, you know, they're not important. But you don't realize how much goes on inside these books. A lot of stuff that has to do with the times, the 60s, the early 70s, like I said, with Superman and with his villains, with the world of Krypton and Kryptonite and the Fortress of Solitude and Mr. Microplexig. So that's why I love these. If you don't believe me, pick up a couple copies and read it. So this is Lois Lane number 82, and of course this is a Neal Adams cover too, and this is from 1968. And that's what's cool about it too. Neal Adams does some really nice covers in here. Featuring the tragic fate, Superman's sweethearts. And there she's laying dead next to Superman, and then you gotta read the story and figure out what happened. Pretty cool. And these aren't exactly high grade, but I'm telling you, these books are so fun to read. This one I did read, and this is Sea Devils number 26. These books can be pricey, even in mid to lower grade. These books can go for 10 to 15 bucks. The Sea Devil seems to be just a little bit of harder series to find in back issue bins. Now I did read this, really good story. Has this character in there that's green and he can change into any sea creature. So he's like a cross between Aquaman and Logan, the Changeling from the Teen Titans. And it's just really well done. I enjoyed this. And that's a Howard Purcell cover. Of course, you know that he created Aquaman. So that's cool. And then you got Jimmy Olsen, July 67, number 103. I read this also. Really fun issue. Really fun issue. Really nice copy too. He murders Clark Kent. And of course, he has to pretend to be dead for a while until he can figure out how to come back because he's Superman. This is one of my favorite covers out of this haul. It's a Neil Adams cover. Giant-sized Superboy. Look at that cover, man. He's a bat. Where are you hiding, Superman or Superboy? Where are you? Pawn of the Monster Maker and the Lone Wolf Legionnaire. Really cool looking Neil Adams cover. An extra in here, Super Baby's first friend. Me, Super Baby. Me likes you. I love how they make him talk. Me's can fly. This one's really good, and Sarah from the Silver Age haired Bronze Age babe told me about this story before I read it, February 1970. Pretty cool. Batman ends up being Lois Lane's lawyer. Superman ends up being the defense or the prosecutor in the case. It's really cheesy, but it's fun too. And this is Lois Lane number 99 from 1970. Look at Batman, he's all looking all worried right there. And it's pretty violent story too. She ends up killing Lana Lang. It's pretty funny. I read this one also, Jimmy Olsen 123 from 1970 or 1969. This was another cool story. You get to meet Jimmy Olsen's father, which never really appeared in any of the stories. But of course, it's one of those cliffhangers and they don't really tell you enough and you got to read the next issue. And of course, you don't have the next issue. I believe that may be a Neil Adams cover also. Possibly, but it may not be. Oh, September 67, The World of 1,000 Olsens. And the cool thing about the Silver Age DC, like these titles, there was no rules. The writers could just pretty much do whatever they wanted. So you'll get some really far out wacky stuff. I read this one, it was pretty cool. There was another planet that was everybody on the planet looked like Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, figure that one out. This is number 105. This is number number 84 from 65. Ended up reading this one, another really quirky story, pretty cool. I liked it, I thought it was fun. It's got a nice stamp right there, a store stamp, Al's Records and Books and Music. It looks like from Oregon. This one I haven't read. I don't know, this looks like it might be a Neil Adams cover. Number 119 from 1969. Nice copy though. Featuring 9 lives like a cat. Okay, so now we're moving on to World's Finest. Kurt Swan cover, September 69. Now these were all $250 again. I haven't mentioned it, I don't think I need to. Anytime I go to the secret store, you know that's what I'm gonna pay. Just a really cool, another cheesy DC Silver Age book. Burning Batman at the stake in Salem, he's a witch. Batman is evil. You're lying, Superman, I'm innocent. Okay. Getting into some really nice finds here. This is Neil Adams cover and interior work. Strange Adventures featuring the Dead Man. This is where Neil Adams really cut his teeth. He was really known for this character here. Just cool. I forget what appearance this might be, like 6, 7, 8. This might be 8th or 9th appearance of Dead Man. If you know anything about this story, you know it kind of mimics the Fugitive TV show of the time. He's on the run. He's looking for the killer of his brother or his body, Boston Brand, who has a hook. And of course, the story revolves around that. Just a really, if you can own some Silver Age issues, you want these, and they're tough to find. And they can be a little bit pricey, especially that first appearance. We got some more Lois Lane, some early issues, 1963, number 45, featuring the Superman Lois hit record. Back to the Olsen man, the Olsen twin, Superman's pal, another store stamp for Mouse Records and Books. Yeah, it says from Oregon. Featuring Superman's look-alike friends and Jimmy Olsen, Captive Double. Cool, iconic cover with a giant person. Then you got someone trapped in a cylinder. Little people on the bookshelves. Now we got Superboy, number 104. This is a key, actually. This is April 63. This is the origin of the Phantom Zone. Nice Silver Age key to own for $2.50. The kid who KO'd Superboy. Man, Kurt Swan, man, look at that dynamic action cover right there. I like this one because it has Kryptonite Kid, April 1966, The Twilight World of No Return. They're putting Superboy into the Phantom Zone. I don't even know who this kid is right here. The Kryptonite Kid and the Knave from Krypton set in Superboy to the Twilight World of No Return. Okay, so these next few books, these are from the local LCS. They got in a collection. They were going through pricing. Some of the stuff they already priced. I went through and got that stuff out. And then grabbed a few other books, then had them price them. I think those were in the other haul. But really, really cool this. I seen this showing, I think Bullseye Comics showed this. Or Strange X-Blade. I don't know who it was. But this is the second appearance of Lobo. And this is the first time Lobo, the name, is mentioned in DC comic books. So the Omega Man from 1987, I believe. 83. And you could probably still find this for $1. It doesn't go for a whole lot, maybe a $10 book in high grade. Just cool to have the first Lobo like name mentioned, a little bit of a key there. This one, I watched Scoon's Comics show. He did a couple videos on this series of Secret Origins. This one's not a key of any kind. It's just I wanted it because it had the Golden Age Batman in there by Roy Thomas, Roger Stearns, Terry Austin, and then Halo, of course, from The Outsiders. My wife actually has swimsuit pants that look almost like that. Pretty cool. And then I picked up this one. I guess this one's listed as a key because it has the origin of Amanda Waller and the origin of Suicide Squad and the Trial by Fire storyline in here is teased for inspiration for the Suicide Squad movie Part 2. So this is all Suicide Squad issue. You got the first Silver Age Suicide Squad origin, and then you got the Copper Age Suicide Squad origin in there. 40 years in the making, the full story revealed at last. That's going to be a fun read. Okay, we are still got a few more books here. Nice high-grade copy of this Superboy. Look at that. Looks like near mint. Does have a stamp on it too. Number 180 from December 1970. Just a beautiful, beautiful. Look at all the blues and the grays in there. I'm really filling up my collection with these Silver Age books. I'm getting cheap. This is an upgrade for me. I already have this issue. Superboy number 160. This is Neil Adams' cover. And this has Wallywood inks in it too. Nice. Look at that beautiful Neil Adams cover. Neil Adams could only get away with putting the main character on the cover and not showing his face. Usually that's a no-no. Editors don't want to see their iconic characters not facing the audience. But I guess because his art is just so dramatic, he could get away with that. Another Superboy issue, one of those 52 pagers, number 183 from 1972. And this is a Nick Cardy cover. Me, Super Baby, now mighty Lord of the Jungle. Do you just love how the baby, how he always talked? Me, Super Baby. A new Legion of Superhero story too. Ooh, so that's definitely a must get. Scott Neely, you better jump on that one. Me, Super Baby. Lois Lane, number 49, 1964. A low grade, but this is featuring the unknown Superman. I've already decided which one I will marry. It was love at first sight. Well, who will it be? Lana Lang or Lois Lane? Wish they wouldn't make their last name so close. I have to stop and think if I'm saying Lana Lane. Another Neil Adams cover, Lois Lane, number 190, February 1969. The dramatic, again, Superman turning away from the audience, not looking directly at the audience, showing his face. What a fool I am. Now what a fool I am not to have married Lois Lane. I've lost her forever. Aww. Featuring Lois Lane's future husband. That's so dramatic. I got to read it. Okay, last two books. Kind of the really big key of this haul from the Secret Store. Second appearance of Dead Man. Look at that cover too. Who does this cover? That is a Mike Sekowsky cover. But Neil Adams does do the interior work in here. So to have a second appearance, that first appearance can go for up to $100 or more. But for $250, even someone said, you know, the way that this thing is missing pieces of the cover, it kind of adds a lot of character to the book. And when you figure this book is probably 50 some years old already. Just a cool rendition of Dead Man on there. Love it, love it, love it. Now last but not least, this is a really huge key for me. This is a pre-code horror sci-fi comic book from 1952, Alice in Terrorland. Look at that, beautiful. This is by Standard Comics. This is number 5 of Lost Worlds. That's a book you want in your collection right there. This book was not cheap. I went back and forth for like a month deciding if I was going to pull the trigger on this, researching it, researching the price. I went to many other places to see what they were selling this book for. And this book, I think I got it for like 50% of what it goes for. This book goes for about, in this grade, about $200, $250. So I paid $108 shipped. It has very minor restoration up here. Someone took a black marker and they filled in the white that was showing. It's very minor. I mean, it's noticeable if you open the cover. You can't see it here. But even that puts this book at a very, like maybe a VG plus. But it presents like a fine plus. Oh my goodness, I am just so happy to have this in my collection. Like I said, I went back and forth with this book. With the cover is just so beautiful. And it screams 1950 sci-fi. Oh. Well, I'm going to let you stare at that as we kind of fade out of here. And just stay tuned. I got another nice haul coming up. Thanks for watching.